What's going on today, guys? Welcome back to DC Unplugged, and today we're checking out this brand new Viper GTR, the off-road and peak of the Viper range. So let's get straight into the review. Starting from the front of the bike, we have, of course, this is a 29-inch wheels. Tires are semi off-road / road tires. We have shocks up the front here that are both lockable and preload adjustment, which is awesome. At the front here we also have a very bright light for night, which you can actually turn on. Moving up, we actually have a adjustable pivot, so a pivot angle of where you want the stem here. And along the bars, getting up to the bars, we've got a far right hand side, we have a throttle, front brakes, and we also have our gear changer. Moving along, we've got that fantastic LED screen. This shows a lot of stuff like voltage, current speed, gear you're in, and some really cool stuff that I'll actually show you when we get on the road, when we go for a ride. So stay tuned for that. There's actually some pretty cool stuff that I actually didn't find out, my brother found out about, which was pretty cool. Further along the bars, we have our bell on and off switch, obviously with our rear brake lever on the very far left hand side. Down the frame we have this awesome alloy frame. The worlds look good. The color is amazing. I actually thought that grey being a bit of an iffy color, but in the sun this color is actually really nice. Coming down just near the Viper sticker there, guys, we have the battery pack, which is hot swappable. So if you wanted to buy an auxiliary battery or an extra battery so you have more range, this is where it is. Now there's a key down the bottom here. You simply just turn that, you pull the battery out. It is easily removable, and then you put it back in. There's also a button on the end of the battery as well, which shows you how much percentage. Doesn't show you voltage. If you need to know voltage, you can go up to the screen and turn it on while the battery's in it and tell you the exact voltage. But this just gives you a rough estimate on how much voltage is in that battery that you have. Speaking about batteries, this whole system here in this GTR, it is a 48 volt system with a 17 amp hour Samsung cell batteries, guys. So that is going to be a really good nifty little pack of kit. I've ridden this for, quite a fair bit so far, and I am actually really surprised at actually how far 17 amp hour gets you. It is quite far on an e-bike with pedal assist. Moving on to the middle of the frame here, we have this, which is Exaform air suspension. This is absolutely trick. I love this. I really like it. You have this little nipple at the top here, which you can actually preload the air inside of it, and basically I've got mine set to about 60, I think it was 62 psi for myself. Got this cool like pivot kind of suspension style on the arm here, which is very different. Definitely not something I'm definitely used to. And then yeah, you've got all these little pivoting points all over the frame, which looks fantastic. Got the GTR sticker here, which I have made somehow into a GTP. I think I must have rubbed it up against something and just taken that sticker off, but yeah. Moving on, down the back here, we've then got Shimano Atlas gear changer or selector, and also up the top here is also the same thing with the Shimano Atlas gears changer. Another good worthy note is also this bike has been fitted with Shimano hydraulic brakes, both front and back, and yes, they're 160 millimeters, guys, so that is plenty enough. And if you do feel like you need more modulation or whatnot, you run spaces and kind of upgrade them and whatnot. Now, one of the big things that I would like to just put in the video as well, that I've found out through bits of running around on my own bikes, is usually when you get a brand new one, without fail you are going to have to take this in for a service more like sooner than you think, because things like spokes get loose, just general things that if you're not that knowledgeable on bikes, you definitely would want to bring it into your closest bike store, whether that be Bikes for City or another bike store that you favor. Another worthy mention too is we actually do have right down the back here, we actually have a derailleur guard, this metal guard here, which is quite useful, especially if you're doing a lot of stuff that you'll probably see me do a little bit later on in this video, and pretty much when we go for the ride. So yeah, very cool. The seat I find is not too bad, but I definitely think if you're on a long range ride and you're going to be running two batteries, I definitely think you'll probably need a different seat, because it gets a little sore on the old tush, but that could be because I haven't ridden a bike in a long time, so take that as you will. So what we'll do now is we'll basically just bring up the top and show you the display and just run you through a couple things, and we'll pretty much after that we'll go for a ride. And I have something pretty special in mine. So hang around, let's have a look. All right guys, so here's our beautiful LCD display, very cool. One of the very cool features about this display, and I have left a little something here, so let's do the old DC unplugged thing. Oh, best noise guys, best noise. I love it. Anyway, before we got distracted, let's turn it on. So we just have the power button here, simply hold that, turns the bike on. You just have up and down, so see here on the screen, you've got just here, you've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 modes. This is actually really cool because the modes, and I'll show you in the riding video coming up, but the modes on this are just calibrated so bloody well. And each individual like step up is just fantastic. This LCD or LED display, obviously it does get washed out by sun because all else like screens are going to, even your phone gets washed out. As you can kind of see here, we've got a bit of glare just at the top there. Unfortunately, that is something I cannot help guys, but that's just the nature of a screen in the sun. Bell, obviously you got your back brakes there, and on the right hand side here, front brakes. We've got our derailleur up and down, and throttle, which is actually instant, which is kind of cool. Noteworthy mention as well, on the top side here guys, I'll just kind of cover it for you. There we go. So you got your bar at the top there, and it actually tells you the voltage right beside, and then it actually tells you the current temperature outside, which is actually pretty cool to know, especially if you're on a long ride. Sometimes you can get a little dehydrated, so knowing what the temperature is outside is probably actually really beneficial. So, and down the bottom here we've also got motor power, so MOT and then POW. That actually tells you how much watts you're actually using, which is really cool. So if I just pull the throttle just a little bit, tells us exactly how much watts we're just using there. Distance currently traveled, so we've only done, what's that, 48 kilometers, and time it's been running for, which you've seen then, we just turned it on there. So yeah, very cool features. You can tap the power button and that comes up to your OD. So again, done 40 kilometers, time it's been running, I think that is your average, yeah, that's the average speed. And then max speed we've got to was 59.8. That was me going down a hill, which was quite funny. And then they go back to the OD, which is pretty sweet. When you do pull the brakes, you'll see a little icon come up underneath the battery there. That is just to let you know that your brakes are pedal assist. So when you pedal and when you pull the throttle, it will cut out the motor completely. So it's more of a safety thing. So I say let's waste no more time and let's go for a ride. Let's do it. Alrighty guys, let's get on some paths and see how it goes. So I've set up this suspension. It feels incredible. It's super soft, and that's kind of where I want it to be. I just want it to be nice and relaxed when I'm riding. So as you can see here, we're super easy. 22k an hour, come on. Easy as. So when you pull the throttle, it comes up with throttle, right? When you pedal, it comes up with assist. Now, my brother was playing around with everything and he found this. So if you hold the button down, the down button down, comes a little cruise control icon, it says cruise. Now we're cruising at 16k an hour. How sick is that? This is mad. So good. So good. And then if you need a bit more oomph, pull the throttle and that turns the cruise control off and we get a bit more power. So very cool. I really like that feature about it that has cruise control. That is awesome. I didn't think it would have it in there, but it's definitely in there. So you just hold the button down and it's got cruise control, which is sick. And that is something that both myself and my little brother found out on our own, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I like that feature a lot. Overall, this is actually a really smooth bike. Now I do have to admit, obviously these tires, I'm more of a road going person, so you know, they're a bit noisy, but in saying that, let's switch over to the off-road track and see what that looks like in that category. Let's go. Now, one thing I'm hoping, guys, that you can see that, oh man, oh, these hills do not look like they're tall, but they really are. A bit of a landslide through here. Let's go. Now, one thing I have to admit is that Bafang motor is so smooth. The amount of adjustment with the a level of assistance is so nice, because sometimes you just get some e-bikes with their assistance is just, it's too much, and you kind of feel like you need to be like in between. Now you'll see me probably going back and forth quite a fair bit with the throttle here, because the cool thing about the throttle being there, when you're pedaling and you just need that little bit extra like torque to help you, because you select the wrong gear, you just throttle and it gives you that level 5 torque. Just becomes so nice. It's sick. And if you just want speed too. So yeah, really cool setup actually. And I find that actually, even if you pull the throttle and you're in assistance 3, it gives you the torque, but it won't actually let you go over the top speed of what level 3 helps you with. So we're going through some pretty rough stuff at the moment with lots of hills and bankments and all sorts, but it's just really good. For anyone that's like, obviously not into this kind of stuff, but like just in general, you have like a hilly area that you live in or something like that, and you just want to get out and about and get healthy again, this is definitely the way to do it. Because if you really get buggered, you just ride this thing like a motorbike. I know it's illegal to have a throttle, and yes, comment section, it is illegal to have a throttle on your e-bike. However, this is game changer. It's so easy to ride, and it just makes living with it just so much more fun too. Because if you, let's say you came out here and you really come a bust up and you went off that cliff down there, you know, you could literally just ride this like a motorbike back home, because that 750 watt motor could literally take us through this entire track just via that rear motor, because it's got that much torque. So I'll show you actually. Here you go. It's just throttle, mode 3. The range on this thing, considering we have been smashing it with just the throttle when I was coming here as well. I was using it quite a fair bit going up these big steep parts. I wish I kind of filmed it, but it was really tricky because it kept coming a bit stuck on some areas. But like, yeah, see here, I have just done nothing but stay on the throttle, even steep stuff like that. Great. Still going, still level 3, and just throttle. I did not pedal once then, so it's pretty crazy. Oh yeah, also thought I'd bring these guys back. These brakes, really good, like insanely good. Very not so touchy, but you can definitely modulate your pressure quite a lot, and they do pull you up if you really jam them on. Like, it'll lock up the front quite easily if you're not watching what you're doing. So it's yeah, these brakes are fantastic. Because we're on off-road, we can use that throttle. So here we are, guys, doing, what are we, 31 kilometers an hour, just by throttle only, no pedaling. Oh yeah, just the way we like it on DC Unplugged, not gonna lie. That's why we do e-scooter content, boy. We're sick. 40k an hour, guys, just on throttle alone. How sick. That's mad. Anyway, we'll see you back here soon. So to wrap things up, what do I really honestly think about this Viper GTR? Well, considering how much you get in value wise with this bike, from the 180mm brakes to the suspension to the Bafang motor, the throttle, the technology, the screen, all the Shimano gear, the derailleur, protector, everything, all in all, this is actually a fantastic bike overall. And considering the money, you get a lot of stuff like the mudguards if you want to run them. For this review, I didn't run it because I personally like no mudguard look, and of course you also get the luggage tray just like the GT. There's honestly a lot to like about this. So all in all, I really do highly rate this bike. It is a lot of fun, comfortable, and it can do pretty much everything you need to and whatever you're going to throw at it. For me, this bike definitely shines and definitely deserves its GTR status. struggles wearing glasses. So annoying. Anyway guys, I hope that has been a very informative video. Like always, like and subscribe, and there are 2 more bikes coming out guys from Viper, and I'm actually pretty keen for the could be the next one. So definitely like and subscribe up there, and definitely click the bell icon and don't miss out on any other uploads that I will be bringing to you with some more Viper e-bikes. So if you've been enjoying this, leave a comment down there guys if you have been enjoying the e-bike content as well. I'll definitely be reading all of them. I try to get back to as many as I possibly can, but obviously life gets in the way. Can't reply to them all, but we'll see you all in the next video. We'll see you then. Definitely head into your local Bike City. And my camera just rolled over. Hi. That's what I get for not putting it on a stand, I suppose, hey?